Hello students, today in this video we are going to see the execution of its program, that is to count the number of ones and zeros in two consecutive memory locations. So that means here we have two consecutive memory locations and I have saved the numbers, that is 32-bit numbers, in two consecutive memory locations. These are the numbers. You can take any 32-bit numbers here, and this one, and I am storing this number in the read-only memory. That you should remember. This is not the RAM I am using. I am not using an internal RAM here. We are using a ROM memory, and in ROM memory, in two consecutive memory locations, we are storing two 32-bit numbers here, and you can use any two 32-bit numbers. And what is the program here is we have to count the number of ones and zeros in these 32-bit numbers. So if you consider this 01010101, how you write it in a 32-bit number format, you can write it in this format, 32-bit format, that is 01010101. So here each digit represents a 4-bit binary number here. Okay, you can see here each digit represents a 4-bit binary number. So like that, here the total 8 digits are there. So that means total 32-bit number is this one for 01010101. And if you count the number of zeros here in this 32-bit number, how many number of ones are there? So that is, you can see that it is 4, and remaining are zeros, so that is 28. So total 32-bit number it is. Similarly, if you consider this number, that is A055, so how you write that in 32-bit format? So for hexadecimal number A, we can write it as 1010 for A. For 0 it is 0000. For 5 we have 0101. Like that, I have written the 32-bit number for this A055. And in this 32-bit number, again count that what are the number of ones and what are the number of zeros. So if you count this number, we have the number of ones equal to 12, and remaining numbers are zeros. So that is again total 32-bit numbers we have here. So at the end of this program, what we will get here is the total number of ones and zeros. So what are the total number of ones here? 4 plus 12, that is 16. So this is the decimal number. So total 16 numbers we are going to get as the number of ones, and total 48 numbers, that is 28 plus 20. So that is total 48 numbers we are going to get as a total number of zeros in these two 32-bit numbers. Okay, together we are calculating the number of zeros and ones here. Okay, now we'll start with the program here. Like as usual, start with the area. You have to assign one name for the area here, that is 10 I have assigned, and I am writing in the code section. And the code section here is the read-only memory. In that we are going to write the program. So if you start the program here, so we have to initialize the counter for number of ones and zeros. So to count the number of ones, I am initializing the counter R2 value, register R2 with 0. To count the number of zeros, again I am initializing one more different register, that is R3, that is initialization with 0. Now counter to get the words. So how many words are there? So there are 2 words here. So each word is a 32-bit number here. So that's what the counter to get the 2 words is. R7 is initialized with 2 words here, and this R6 is loaded with, you can see that LDR R6 equal to value. So here the value represents it is an array of 2 numbers, 32-bit numbers, and in that this value here, the R6 value is loaded with the initialization address of that value 1. So that is the address of this number is loaded in R6 here. So once you start the program execution loop, so start with the program execution here, move R1 comma 32 bit. So the number of bit counter here is 32 bit, so that you have to count with you have to initialize that with the 32, and you have to load the address stored in this R6 in R0. Okay, and after that this is the post indexing. So after that you have to increase the R6 by, you see that this is after execution of load instruction, the R6 will be R6 plus 4, and this is the new R6 value you will be getting here. And the loop 0 is the one more loop where move S. So this move S represents the flag bits whatever the flag bits are affecting here, that are updated. So suffix S represents the updation of the flag register. And if you see that loop 0 move S R0 comma ROR. So what we are doing here is we are taking this number here, so that is 0101, so 32-bit number it is. So you have to take this 32-bit number in one register, and I have to consider, suppose I am taking this in R0 register here. So I am taking the number in R0 register, I am copying this value to the R0, and I am rotating this 32-bit number right. So that means this 0 is shifted to at this position, again this 0 is shifted to this position. Like that you have to rotate this by 1 bit at a time. So, and if you rotate that by 1 bit, so whatever the bit available at the this is the LSB bit, whatever the bit here we are mentioning is, that is the LSB bit, and this will be the MSB bit. So we are checking for the ROR operation, and whenever there is a LSB 1, you can see that here BHI, if the carry becomes 1, move R0 comma ROR 1. So whenever this move S operation occurs, so that time it is checking for this branch higher, then it is going to ones, and there we are maintaining the counter. If this condition is not true, then it is adding with it is going to execute the zeros loop, and it will add the number of zeros there. So like that it is happening. So at each ROR operation it is checking the flag bit, whether the flag bit is setting to 1, so that means it is incrementing the ones counter. If the flag bit is equal to 0, so that means if the flag bit is not affected because of this ROR operation, there is no 1 available at the LSB point. So if there is a 1 available at the LSB, then only the BHI 1 statement is validated, and that time the number of ones are going to increment here at each time. And if this LSB is not equal to 1, so that time, so this condition does not hold good, so that time it is going to add the number of zeros here. So this is how the program is executing. So like that we have initialized the counter with 32, so that means we have to shift this 32-bit number 32 times, that is 1 bit at a time. So if you shift this number 32 times, that means we are checking for each bit at the LSB whether it is 1 or 0, and if there is a 1 at the LSB, then we are going to validate this function, that is BHI ones, and there we are going to add the number of ones, and if it is not true, then we are going to validate this, and it will be executing the number of zeros, or the number of zeros will be added there. So like that it is happening. If you see this program, so I am checking for the errors here, program execution. I am rebuilding it once again. You can see that here I have 0 errors and 0 warnings. Now I start the debugging session. So once you click on the debug, you can see that you can see here first instruction is executed, that is move R2 with 0 value. Again move R3 with 0 value is executed already. The next instruction is R7 with 2 value. So because we have two numbers here, that's why we have to initialize R7 with 2. If it is 3, then we have to update the one more number here, and we have to change this number to 3 here. And after execution of load instruction, you can see that R6 value is having the address of that. So if you check the number here, 00000044, so in that we have the number. What is the first number here? So this is the first number. So that number you can see here. You can see here 01010101. So this is the number. And what is the next number? So next number is here A055 A055. You can see here. So this is how the memory location is taking here. A055, again A055. Okay, this is the number. These are the number we have mentioned here. Now start executing the program once again continuously. So after move R1, 32. So since this is 32 is a decimal value, that is taking in hexadecimal number, that is 20. If you see the calculation here, so hexadecimal 32 value, the decimal value it is 32. I am converting that to hexadecimal. So what is that? 20 value. So that's what it is taking here. If you are giving the number in a decimal number also, it will be taking the number in hexadecimal only. Okay. Now I can see that after execution of next instruction, that is LDR R0, R6. So whatever the number stored at this address, that is loaded to R1, R0. You can see that the first number here is this one. So that number is loaded here after execution of this instruction in the R0. You can see that in the R0 we have the first number. Okay, now we have to count the number of zeros and ones here in this number. After completing that, we have to load the second number in the R0 itself, and again we are going to count the number of ones and zeros in that number, and after adding those numbers we are getting the total number of ones and zeros. So you can see that since after execution of this ROR instruction, so if you rotate that number, if you move that number here and if you rotate it by 1 bit, so that number is changed here, that is it will become 80888880808080. So ROR operation results in this 1 bit is moved to here. Okay, similarly, so this is the ROR operation. For your convenience I am showing this. You can see here. So after first ROR operation, so it will become this number 100000000 1000000. So like that, if you write this number in 32-bit format like this, so you will get that is 80808080. So it is executed that this loop. After execution of this one, it is checking for BHI1, that is it is checking for the carry flag. So if I check that here, after execution of that, the carry is set here. So since the carry is set, it will be incrementing the ones counter. So it has to shift to this loop, and you will get R2 equal to 1 here. So before execution of this instruction, you can see that R2 value is 0. So after execution of this one instruction, what is the result? Okay, you can see that the ones counter is incremented. So like that, again it is going back to, it is subtracting the R1 counter, that is in the 32-bit counter we have rotated it by 1 bit. That means now we have to check for the remaining 31 bits. That's what we are doing here. You have to decrement the counter each time after ROR operation, and branch if not equal, then it is going to loop 0 once again. So in this loop 0, once again ROR operation is taking place. Once again you have to shift the 32-bit number by right by 1 bit, and again check for this condition, carry flag. If this instruction results in carry flag, then it is incrementing the ones counter. If it is not, carry flag is not set here, then it is decrementing the counter. So after execution of this instruction, you can see here, so loop 0. So after execution of this instruction, just check for the carry, whether it will be 1 or 0. You can see that there is no carry flag set here. So that means this condition is not satisfied. So in that case, it is adding the R3 counter. What is the R3 value initially? It is 0. So after execution of this one, you can see that R3 value is updated with 1 here. So like that, we have to check for each bit here. See, now the R1 counter becomes 30. Again it is not equal to 0. Again you have to loop decrement the counter by again you have to rotate the number by 30 times. So like that, if you go on stepping operation, you can see that at the end of the execution of this program, so you have to do this step function unless you will execute this stop B function. Until then you have to do this. Okay, or there is one option available, that is R5 or run F5. So if you click that, so that means it will be executing the whole program in one time, and you can see that after the stopping debug, you can see that here that R3 value is loaded with 30, R2 value is loaded with 10. So that means the number of ones are 1 zeros and number of zeros are 30. So that means you can see that here what are the number of ones we should get here. 4 plus 12, 16. If you see that here, so number of the in decimal we are getting 16 value. So what is the hexadecimal value of that? So that is 10, and what we are getting here, the 10 only. So that is correct. And what are the number of zeros here? 28 plus 20, that is 48. So if you check that 48 decimal value is converted to hexadecimal, so that will be 30 number. So that means this program what we have executed is correct. Okay, if you want to change the numbers here, you can change the number, you can write any 32-bit number here, and before going to execution, that make it manually calculate the number of ones and zeros available in that 32-bit number, and write the program as mentioned here and execute the program, so that you will get the number of ones and zeros in these two 32-bit numbers which are located consequently in the memory locations. Okay, so after execution of this, we are getting the number of ones are 16 and number of zeros are 48. So total it will be 64 bit. Total there are, if you count the number of zeros and ones at a time, so it will be around 64 bits we are getting. So in total 64 bits we are getting number of ones equal to 16 and number of zeros equal to 48.